Once the pathogen has been identified through means such as portal of entry, the incidence and prevalence of cases old and new, Hitengata, the source, including where, who, what, and when, the various signs and symptoms, the virulence factors determining the strength of pathogen, the host's immune defense mechanism. We can then determine our stage of infection as host and identify specifically what kind of pathogen we are dealing with. Through symptomatology, by analyzing the collection of signs and symptoms during the course of disease, the pathological changes or damage to host cells, evaluated so it can be then determined by these characteristics and properties, the type of infection and the type of bacteria we are dealing with. Also, the defense mechanisms of the host immune system or memory cells can be evaluated to reveal the discrepancies and weaknesses within the defense and offensive tactics. After the host has been exposed to the pathogen and the agent pathogenic bacteria has lodged within the host organism, there is then a course of infection in the body collected, which follows a defined pattern, sequence, or phase of events. The duration of each phase and the pattern of overall illness is very specific for different organisms. There are 4 stages. The first stage is an incubation period, which is when the pathogen overcame the host resistance and defenses to establish itself comfortably within the host again. The ability of the agent pathogen depends on its properties, which is what determines its success. So in their case, very successful. This incubation period is the stage of interval before signs and symptoms of infection and disease. But actually in this case, the pathogen and the disease cause would be considered a fulminant disease, which is acute infection that progresses very rapidly with often fatal outcomes. As soon as this pathogen arrived to Aotearoa, New Tyrene on the coast of Costa Rica, immediately there was infectious signs and symptoms and signs of immune defense and offense mechanisms of the host. Hence, Parada Hone hate on the offense. Also, pathogenic bacteria can be considered an agent of acute illness with very short and abrupt stages. Second stage is the prodromal stage, with general signs and symptoms manifesting. Most appear to be minor and are non-specific, such as creating disorder within Gahapu, causing discord amongst of the tribes and Rohe, stealing land through priest and trade. Its time period is variable, can be prolonged or abrupt. Sometimes the defenses of host overcome the pathogen during this period and symptoms disappear. We attempted in 1831 when Maitopuna wrote to King William V, when Hone hate got irate with crown agents and some of the Rangatira because they had been deceived and blinded, being passive, etc. But our immune defenses did not prevail. Resistance was not developed with immunity through antibodies. Third stage is the acute stage, which is when host defenses were subdued and overcome. Failure of the host to overcome the pathogen. This is the most symptomatic and infectious phase. It is a systemic infection in a specific disease, spreading all over the host system of Aotearoa, infecting all Hitengata and Papatua Nukunga Atua with all the Kaitiaki. This period is also variable. In fact, the infection is still spreading insidiously to this day. This is the crucial stage of the course of infection. The ability of the host to overcome the acute phase determines the outcome of the disease and host. The outcome is either recovery or fatality, with the terminal outcome, death of host. This is the natural course of all infection and disease within all living organisms, micro to macro. Within the third acute stage, there is a decline phase, which is when the immune system responds and overcomes the pathogen and the symptoms then subside. So the host begins to recover. If pathogen is not eliminated completely from the host body organism, disease will then progress to latent or chronic phase. The chronic phase is when infection continues continuously and sporadically without going into stage 4. Stage 3 is where we are currently at as the host. We are already receiving chronic attack with continuous symptoms sporadically over and over. If we don't eliminate the crown pathogen and the mixed pathogenic agents from our host system in decline phase, there will then be a latent attack. When our defenses are weakened, there will be fatality in the acute stage because of our inability as the host to overcome the disease of pathogen. Result is death. It depends on how long the pathogen wants to use us. For while our host immune defense is failing,